Hello there, good morning to you. How are you? How have you been since Thursday? Good to see you this morning. I'm Onoshiorena Obozeghie. Welcome to Kakaaki Social. Now, the sitting governor of Ondo State, that's Lucky Ayedatiwa, will not leave office after completing the second term of his boss, who is now late, Rotimi Akeredolu. This is because he won the governorship election that took place in the state over the weekend. Now, he's been congratulated by many, including Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, who is sure that INEC justified the confidence of the people with how they handled the whole situation and process. Now, to other candidates and opposition political parties in the state, President Tinubu is asking them to go to court. So go to court is on the trends again this morning. So that's a celebratory video of the winner as declared by INEC. But we'll bring you in and see, because go to court is the focus for netizens on this very story. For Stephen, he says, wow, this is so unfortunate for our democracy. To where can we go to get actual justice? It's a tragedy that we can't trust our judiciary. Also, Mokpeyemi says, even in court, they go still meet you there. That's responding to President Tinubu. Emmanuel says, in 2027, I want to read this tweet like, you know, when you're warning somebody, be warned. It says, in 2027, Nigerians will tell Mr. President to go to court because no INEC, no judiciary, no military, no police, political class will save you from your defeat. Mr. Tinubu, your actions have been measured. Like he's warning him right there. Don't dare us. And then Ayofe says, now online people hate APC. Everybody in APC offline. And he's attaching this crowd supporting the party. Yeah, well, if this is not Photoshop really, and well, we have to say that is the support that APC is gaining right there. Well, the election was reportedly marred by vote buying that is fast becoming a ritual with Nigeria elections. Now, we would hear from this mama, a trader of her vote, while the election lasted.
Àdìbò ìbò ń lọ nírọ̀wọ́ nírẹsẹ̀ kò sí wàhálà kò sí ìjà kò sí kankan ní tiwa àṣà àdìgbowó gbogbo wa àgbowó owó tá fi dìbò ìyá mi kó ṣe kẹ.
Oh, well, it was really too late to tell Mama to stop it. Mama was live. Okay, so let's have the previous quote. It will be a scripture that reads, Proverbs 26, verse 11. It says, as a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. So now we can have that picture. So for a good number of citizens, that is the case of the former spokespersons for the Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Council, Daniel Bwala, a dog returning to his vomit with his appointment as President Bola Tinubu's special advisor on media and public communication. So you trust netizens to bring back before today. So we see some seconds of an old video of him, and then we come back, read some old headlines to this video.
If you have the time, I will tell you more about what they are campaigning with as an agenda or as a rhetoric that he did well in Lagos. I will tell you, between 1999 to 2007, if you take out context, he actually performed worse than some governors in Nigeria, because the Lagos that they say he did, he improved the revenue, he only collected tax. All the infrastructure needed for a state or in fact a country to develop was on ground. Lagos used to be the Nigerian national capital. Before Nigeria was formed, Lagos was a colony. You have all the infrastructure for economic development. As what you didn't establish there. There was seaport, there was airport, you have commercial activity, all the embassies are there. So transaction with foreign envoys is in Lagos. All the hotels are there, headquartered in Lagos. All the banks are headquartered in Lagos. All security apparatus, every facility and infrastructure for economic development was in Lagos. He didn't bring them.
Okay, so that's Daniel Bwala, 2023 rather, before the elections. Okay, back to 2023, December 26, less than a year ago. It says, even if you give Tinubu 30 years, nothing will work. He's saying that. Let's see more posts of Daniel Bwala. Let's move forward and have more reactions. He says, I left APC because I did not want to be a spokesperson for a Muslim ticket. What netizens call Mumu ticket. That's MU to represent Muslim. DH Bwala on Twitter on May 31, 2023, he says, my loyalty to Atiku is 100%. And he shared a YouTube link that you could watch his interview. Let's have more right there. Also, it says, the human brain is unique and miraculous. It works and functions optically 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, until you join APC. Then it stops working, in capital letter. Okay, so now let's have some reactions. This graphics has been trending on the space of social media. Made by netizens, of course. It has two mouths on the same face. We have APC, we have PDP. Maybe a good place to say this is PDAPC. But I know that, as you also know, that Atiku has long said, oh, we're no longer together, we're no longer working together. His media office really. So let's have two reactions before we move on. Explorer of Life says, congratulations, sir. But what has really changed about the president or you? Will the country change for good, even given 4 years with you by his side? Or is it still going to be business as usual, even if 30 years he's still giving? Quoting him there. For Napoleon, he says, people are really crying about this appointment. What if he was planted to spy on Atiku for the purpose of election? It's Atiku you should blame for being desperate to work with people without vetting. Okay, more stories and more thoughts. Now, well, come to think of it, some people return to their exes and make some of the best marriages. So maybe never say never. And then a former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, is blaming Nigeria's state of economy on the reign of who he calls Baba Go Slow and Emilokon. Well, this renaming ceremony took place as Baba spoke on leadership failure and state capture in Nigeria at the Chino Achebe Leadership Forum that held in the United States of America. Just to read two paragraphs of his reactions right there, his lecture. It says, Nigeria's situation, as we can see and understand, is bad. The more the immorality and corruption of a nation, the more the nation sinks into chaos, insecurity, conflict, discord, division, disunity, depression, youth restiveness, confusion, violence, and underdevelopment. And then in the next paragraph, it says, that's the situation mostly in Nigeria in the reign of Baba Go Slow and Emilokon. The failing state status of Nigeria is confirmed and glaringly indicated and manifested for every honest person to see through the consequences of the level of pervasive corruption. Oh, well, so we'll just leave it at that, and then we'll just take some thought of netizens. Who is going first in reaction to this? Oh, yeah, so Uche is saying that he has always been envious of Tinubu. He had wanted to pocket the Yoruba nation, but PBAT, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, became his obstacle. He never believed there would be another strong leader alive from the South like him, and he has always worked against that. I'm not surprised the critics coming from him. That's responding to OBJ there. Ajibola says, it's not about OBJ as a person. Nigerians should look around and ask a simple question. What policy is working positively in Nigeria today? Another question is, if PBAT and his teams are financially disciplined enough to turn the economy around. But then another user, which will be a final reaction to this, is coming from Wealth, who brought back this picture of President Tinubu, and he's saying that baby step part 2 loading. It is loading right there. But really, the argument is that if your baby has been baby stepping for how many weeks, how many months, really, over a year, and you are not concerned, you are not running from hospitals to hospitals at this point, it means that you really do not care as a parent. But we have our semi-final story, which would be that Nigeria's Chidinma Adesina makes history as she emerges the first runner-up at the 73rd Miss Universe competition, while Adesina finished second from 125 contestants at the Miss Universe 2024. So since she's the highest ranked African in the race, she has become Miss Universe Africa and Oceania. So we'll just take a minute to look at that time when the result was announced.
Ladies, the new Miss Universe is Denmark!
All right, so congratulations to her and congratulations to us also. South Africa, not even go anywhere. So let's have our final story just to congratulate Madam Grace Atinuke Oyelojo, who was born on November 16, 1931. She's a retired registered nurse, a midwife, and hospital administrator who rose to be the very first Miss Nigeria when we launched it in 1957. Now, she marked 94 years over the weekend and she's been celebrated. Things that we like to see. She's old. She's beautiful like she was at that time, like I knew her, right? So yes, congratulations to her and happy birthday, Mom.